So it's been about 3 months since I've done one of these videos. So today I'm going to be answering some of your burning questions you've had about my bleach lightener videos. Now these videos have been super popular lately and you guys have been coming with tons of questions, tons of comments, and lots of controversy. So I'm really excited to get this video started. And if you're new here, my name's Mirella Manelli. I'm a hair educator who loves helping hairstylists simplify their skills and business. And if you could do me a favor, give this video a like, subscribe, share it with a friend, and turn on those notifications so you don't miss a video. Now let's get right into the first question. So our very first question comes in from Mimi and she says, I've been really loving your bleach videos and there are a couple of professional bleaches that I didn't see you try and I hope you do a video on King's bleach that claims to have 10 levels of lift. Blonde Solutions, which is only available online. Megats 10, which is available at beauty supply stores, but not at Cosmoprof. Lasttronics, I've seen their developers at Cosmoprof, but not their bleach. I hope you do another video on these brands too, and also I wonder if any of these DIY brands are owned by professional companies besides the obvious ones like Wella and L'Oreal. So first of all, I am planning on testing way more lighteners, and when I started this entire bleach series, I had no idea that there were this many lighteners. I think in my brain, I thought maybe there was like 20, but really there's hundreds of bleach lighteners. It's insane how many options and varieties we have to choose from. Now, what I am planning for sure on trying is I would love to test out Tronics and I would love to test out Blonde Solutions. To be completely honest, I've never heard of King's bleach and a couple of the other ones that you've mentioned here. So thank you so much for bringing those to light because now I'm definitely even more intrigued to give those a try. Now to answer the second part of your question is you wonder if a lot of these DIY brands are owned by professional brands, and the short answer is yes. You can actually do a really easy Google search and find out that a lot of these consumer brands are owned by these big boy brands like L'Oreal, Wella, Henkel. Essentially you have this one big parent brand and then you have a bunch of little sister brands. So they're all individual, they're completely different, kind of the same in some spaces, but generally they are all operated separately as individual brands. Now my next question comes in from 6J6 and this question says, hey Mirella, I love your videos and I was wondering if you could do a video on the Davness lighteners. I love that brand for products but never use their color products. Same with the brand Evo. I think it'd be cool to delve into these international brands. Now I will first off tell you that I am a super big fan of Davness. I've used Davness throughout my life, sprinkled throughout my career, and I absolutely love the products and I actually love the bleach lightener too. I don't know if they still have those additives where you can make your bleach red and blue and like all these interesting colors, but I definitely am planning on testing out some more international brands. And to be completely honest, I've actually never used Evo before, so that would definitely be an amazing video. So thank you so much for your question. Now my next question, or rather comment, comes from Connor Picasso, and they write, you can tell this isn't genuine because of the sponsor. Now this comment came in on my Sally's bleach lightener video where I tested out Bondbar. Now for those of you who don't create content, FTC guidelines state that even if I received a gifted product in exchange for an honest review, I have to mark the video as sponsored. So that's exactly what I did. So did I get paid for that video? Absolutely not. Did I give my honest review? Yes, I did. And to be completely honest, I really don't think Sally's Beauty would pay me to tell you that it didn't lift as light as the professional bleach lighteners. As a reminder, all of my bleach lightener videos are videos that I personally wanted to test out because I too was curious to see which one was the best lightener, which one was gonna give me the best integrity. I just wanted to be able to put together some educational videos for you. I'm really thankful when a brand does reach out and send me some goods because to be completely honest, it gets really expensive buying all of these bleach lighteners. So thank you again, Sally's. My next question comes in from Jacqueline and she writes, I'm really intrigued on Ugly Duckling. Can you possibly do a bleach test on that bleach? They have a dark root bleach and a Bond Plex one, please. So this is the first time I've ever heard of Ugly Duckling, so thank you so much for bringing this to my attention. I'm about to do a little bit of research and I'm definitely going to add it to the list. Now this next question comes in from Patty Benshooter and she writes, could you address either lightener for curls or lighteners with an extra component? Sally's carries Matrix Curl Lights that uses an additional accelerator and is ammonia free. They also have cream oil lighteners. So the first thing I'm gonna say on this question is just because a bleach lightener is ammonia free does not mean it's gentle. I think there's a misconception with ammonia free products, meaning that they're not as aggressive, and that could be like the furthest from the truth. All ammonia free lighteners in general are basically fragrance free. You're not going to get that ammonia fragrance, so that's what the benefit is by using an ammonia free lightener. Now, unless it specifically states that it's a gentle lightener or it has that extra component like a bond builder built inside of the bleach lightener, or it's specifically designed to be gentle, then that would make it a gentle bleach lightener. Now, there are tons of bleaches out there that are marketed for curly hair because, to be completely honest, curly hair is probably one of the most fragile types of hair to work on. And anytime you're aggressively lightening curly hair, it does change the curl pattern. And I think this is why cream bleaches and even oil cream bleaches exist, because they tend to have a lot more hydration built inside, as well as bond builders built inside. So if you have curly hair and you're really wanting to protect the integrity of the curl pattern, the best type of bleach lightener to use is something that has a lot of hydration in it, as well as a bond builder built inside and a really strong at-home care. Now, my next question comes in from Emmy Him, and they write, I just came from seeing a few other of your lightener videos, and I noticed a lot of the swatches don't get lighter than a 7 or an 8. And I'd like to mention, I believe typically their pre-made hair swatches aren't using raw unprocessed hair, meaning you're not getting a true reflection of lifting capabilities. Typically the hair used for hair swatches has been steam treated or processed in some way that affects the way the hair accepts and processes with chemical color treatment. I would say get some raw virgin Indian bundles from the temples and get your own swatches, because I'm sure a lot of these already tested lighteners can get to a level 9-10 in one go with a foil. I haven't seen anyone use real raw hair, so I'm finding I still need to go out and try everything myself regardless. Now, this is a very hot question and comment that I've been getting on almost every single bleach lightener video. And what I have to say about that is the swatches where I purchased them from claim to be virgin. As a matter of fact, some of the swatches even have gray hair strands running through them. So it kind of leads me to believe that they are truly virgin hair swatches. They are on, you know, the expensive side. But at the end of the day, it's too hard for me to actually know if they are processed or not. But these swatches are designed to lift hair color, lift with bleach, and test out a bunch of different products. What I will say is that there's different variables when I'm doing these tests, and I've said this in every single bleach lightener video. The main component here is that there is no added warmth, and when you think about doing bleach on a human head, the bleach lightener and even the foils are living right next to 98 degrees, creating even more encapsulated warmth depending on how many foils we're adding in. And if you're using a processing cap, even the environment that we're sitting in, the salon, can be warm or cool, so many different variables. I do think, however, that these bleach lightener videos at least give you some idea of the lifting component, because if it's going to lift to a level 7 or 8 in a cool environment inside of a foil, I think that's a pretty good indication that it's going to be a strong lift. Have there been bleach lighteners that have surpassed that level 7 and 8? Short answer is yes. And if you haven't seen that yet, you might want to check out the very first Cosmoprof lightener video I did. At the end of the day, these are educational and informational videos, and by all means, if you want to test out all of these bleach lighteners and spend your own money and make your own videos, please do so. I can't wait to see them. My next question comes in from Lori Gober, and she writes, have you tried or tested the Ion Cream Lightener, which seems to be a lot of DIY ladies go to instead of using the powder bleaches? Also, what would be your take on Wella Charm Toner Series T18? Seems to be the cult favorite. Also, they just released not too long ago 4 new shades. So what I'm planning to do in the future is definitely test out some cream bleach lighteners. That's going to be part of our bleach guide series. So I haven't gotten around to it just yet. Now, when it comes to the Wella Color Charm T18 series, personally, I have never tried it, but I've seen a lot of hairstylists and DIYers use it, and you're right, it is a cult favorite. And I don't know, maybe I'll do a whole toner series too, but let me know what you guys think about that one down below. Next up is a question from Ray Under Pressure, and they write, thanks for doing this video, Mirella. Curious to know your thoughts on Clairol Shimmer Lights complex powder lightener. So I believe that bleach lightener is carried at Sally's. If I'm wrong, definitely let me know down below. But if I didn't test it out, my entire goal was to only test out bleach lighteners that claimed levels 8 and above. So if this is a bleach lightener that claimed 7 levels of lift or even 5 levels of lift, I kind of left it to the wayside, but maybe I'll get around to testing it out and trying it one day. Next question comes in from Jen XSJ3902, and she writes, I want to go from a level 2 to a level 10 in one step. Is it possible? The answer is yes, but there's definitely like an art to it. Lots of variables to that as well. But like you mentioned, if you're going from a level 2, that is pretty dark to go from a 2 to a 10 in one step. And generally, if I am doing a client that I'm taking from that dark to that light, number one thing is I need to make sure that the integrity of their hair is pristine, it's super healthy. And I usually like to set up people with some type of regimen at home weeks before we do the appointment, so I can make sure that their hair is as strong as possible before we do a really large service like that. The next thing is definitely choosing the right lightener for the hair type, and then also for the speed that you're working at, because there's some bleach lighteners that work really fast in the beginning and some that are just kind of nice, slow and steady. And I think a lot of those things are variables, right? I think it just depends on, you know, how quickly you work and, you know, if you need a lightener that is really easy to saturate through, because we all work so differently. But I think the third step that's the most important is you can definitely achieve that with reapplication. I think a lot of hairstylists are afraid of that sometimes because they're worried about leaving the bleach on past an hour. Little disclaimer, you need to know what you're doing and you have to pay attention to the integrity of the hair. Now, when you are doing a reapplication, you're simply gonna open up a foil, wipe it clean if it's getting a little too puffy, mix up a fresh batch of lightener, and even mix up a fresh batch of lightener every 15 minutes when you're doing the initial application. That's a really great tip right there. But when you're doing the reapplication, you're just gonna make sure that everything is evenly saturated, pack it back up, let it do its thing, keep an eye on it, and you definitely can achieve a level 2 to a level 10. I've done it a million times. As a matter of fact, I have a video here on my channel where I do that. If you wanna watch it, I'll link that video down below. Now, before I end this video, I should probably address my pink hands. I just did a client of mine that had vibrant pink hair, so that's why my hands are pink. Life of a hairstylist. And like always, you can head on over to MirellaManelli.com where you'll find more free education and you can sign up for my newsletter. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I will see you in the next one.